Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I wanted to give you guys a long overdue update on how I'm doing with my stock photos and videos over the past several months. I know that I gave you an update in May and I promised you a monthly video of how much I'm making, and I have not followed up on that, so I apologize. But I did want to come back around and just give you guys an update on how this summer has gone and where we are today. Where we left off, Shutterstock had made a lot of changes to their pricing structure, and we were all a little bit concerned about how that is going to affect us as contributors. I know a lot of you have taken your portfolios down for the time being in protest of that, and I totally understand. I made the decision to leave my portfolio as is. I haven't added anything since that decision was made. I kind of wanted to see what was going to happen. I wanted to see if there was going to be a huge drop off of earnings or any change at all, and then let that guide some of my decision making. And so here we are several months later. I'm going to take you inside the dashboards of my Shutterstock account, Pond5 and Adobe Stock, and let you see how the past 4 to 5 months have been going. So we are already here in Shutterstock. Let's go over to earnings summary. And unfortunately, there's not a great way on here to show you the past 5 months. So I did lay it out in a spreadsheet for you, which I'll show you in a second. But for those of you who want to see from the dashboard exactly what I made, so you trust what I'm saying, I'll show you really quick. In June, you can see that my total earnings were $316.27. In July, I totaled $188.08. August was a low month for me. I only made $72.10. And at this point, you can see the past 3 months, my earnings were going down, down, down. So at this point, I was really considering pulling my portfolio from Shutterstock. I had a ton of videos that were selling for next to nothing. As you can see, it was like 84 cents, 43 cents, 40 cents, $3 to $4. A lot of these clips that just really didn't go for much at all. So that started to kind of make me more and more angry. But I left it up, see what happened. So we'll go into September. And then September, I made $380.13. So that brought me back up to a great number for my portfolio. I started to see a few sales where videos were going for what they used to go for, around the anywhere from $30 to $70 range. So that was promising. And then we come to October, which we're only a few days into now, but I have had some more bigger sales from some of these videos. So that's been encouraging to see those numbers go back up. Here was one that sold in October. It's a black lab in slow motion catching a ball, and that one obviously must have gone in HD. So that's kind of a quick rundown of how Shutterstock looked the past several months. And like I said, I'm going to go site by site and show you guys how the past couple of months have looked on each of these sites. And then I'll show you the full spreadsheet of how each month totaled up for me. So if we go on over to Adobe Stock, I've already pulled up June through October, how my earnings fluctuated here. As I've said in some of the other videos, Adobe Stock seems to be the most variable among these sites, meaning that my earnings are not very regular. I'll have months like from September to October where I do really well and I make several hundred. And then I'll have these time periods like from August to September where I make very little. So if you look down here, this kind of breaks down some of the top sellers. I had some drone footage here that has done pretty well. And again, a lot of my work is lifestyle, as many of you know. This continues to be a top selling photo for me on Adobe Stock, as well as this one right here. So that's kind of a breakdown of Adobe Stock. I think the total for the past several months have been $206.33. So you can see that Adobe Stock is not my top selling site. It still continues to be Shutterstock. Lastly, let's go on over to Pond5. And again, they don't give me a great way to break down just the past 4 to 5 months for you guys. So I'm sorry about that. You can see I sold one in October. I sold one in September. There were several in August. In June, my total earnings were $13.31. In July, my totals were $33.44. In August, the total was $79.60, which is a pretty good month for me on Pond5. In September, I made $18.14. And so far in October, we are at $14. So Pond5 for me is very similar to Adobe Stock. My sales are a little bit more erratic here. Sometimes I have a great month where I make $80 to $100, but most months end up averaging about $14 to $30 or so. So we're gonna hop on over to the spreadsheet that I made for you guys just to kind of show you a layout that's a little bit easier to see the trend over the past few months from each of these sites, as well as a monthly total across all the sites. So you'll know exactly how much I'm making across all these sites with my portfolio. And by the way, I just wanted to show you guys, because I get a lot of questions about this, about how much footage and images I have in my portfolio. I'm just gonna look at Shutterstock. They're all about the same. Of course, some of these sites have rejected different clips and accepted different clips. So these numbers are going to vary a little bit on each site, but this is roughly how big my portfolio is. So I have 444 images, and for videos, I have almost 500. Wow, I need to upload one more just so I have 500. Okay, so that gives you an idea of how large the portfolio is. So we'll come back on over here to the spreadsheet. Let's look at Shutterstock from June through September. You can see these totals month by month. Starting in June, you know, things had started to really pick up here in April and May. Then we got that news in June about Shutterstock changing their payment for contributors, and quickly started to notice this trend downward. So that really worried me, like I told you guys. But then September was a good month, and you know, I haven't put October in yet because we're still in October, but already we're over $100 in October from Shutterstock. So that makes me feel better. If these numbers can start trending back up to where they used to be, then I'm going to be a lot more comfortable keeping my portfolio alive on Shutterstock. So on Adobe Stock, let's go back over here to June, and you can see the trend here. Like I said, I have months where I do pretty well, and then there are months that are just abysmal. So it's just kind of erratic. There's not a great trend to follow here, but that's about how well my Adobe Stock has done since June. And then over here on Pond5, it's a little bit of the same story. Anywhere from $13 to up to $80 on Pond5 is about average for me. So if we come on over here to this last column, you'll see my monthly totals across all those sites. And this just gives you a good idea of how much passive income I'm really making each month off of my photos and videos. And I know it's not a ton of money, but I've already put the work in to get that footage and those photos up there. So for me, this is completely passive right now, and it's just great every month to have a little bit of a bonus coming in, which is really what I love about being a stock contributor. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Again, I'm so sorry it's taken me so long to give you an update. Leave me a comment below if you have one, and feel free to check out many of the other videos that I've made all about being a stock contributor. Thanks, guys.